Hello and welcome to Power One Yoga. My name is Jason, and joining me today for the class is, to my right is Malcolm, and this is Kara. And we're going to have a Power One Yoga class today. You can take a break throughout this class whenever you'd like to. You can go into Child's Pose, which we will demonstrate throughout the class. Take your time and work on your breathing. If you can take a class focusing on your breathing, would be great. Don't strain in this class, just take your time and try and enjoy the movements. Okay. So standing at the top of your mat, it's called Tadasana. You want your feet to be parallel to each other and spread the toes as wide as you can. Bring both hands in the center of your chest and spread the fingers. So stand nice and tall, chest lifted, shoulders back. You want to ground into the earth so your spine can lengthen and just tuck the tailbone slightly. Again, both hands in the center of your chest and take a nice deep inhale breath through the nose. Inhale and then exhale through the nose as well. So spreading the toes once more. Inhale, breath in, and exhale, breath. Good. On the next inhale, both hands go up overhead. Going to look up to the ceiling and just do a little baby back bend. Chest open, look up, and take a nice deep breath here. Lifting the rib cage. Inhale one more time, gazing up to the ceiling. And it's an easy fold forward. Hands in a prayer, just folding down from here. Drop the head and the chest. Fingertips towards the floor. Or you can place your hands on your shins, is fine. Let the neck relax, rock back into the heels, and just take 2 or 3 breaths here, trying to soften your body, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders. Take once more, inhale breath, and then bend the knees slightly and come all the way, stand back up again, and raise the arms again overhead, lift the rib cage, look up to the ceiling, take another inhale breath here, and then place both hands in the center of your chest. Okay. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Toes are spread. You want to ground down into the floor so you lift the chest. Shoulders relaxed. Again, inhale both arms up to the ceiling. Open, just gaze up to the ceiling slightly. A nice deep breath. And we're going to fold forward from here, hands reaching towards the earth. You can place your hands on your shins or your kneecaps is fine if you can't make the floor. Again, relax the shoulders. Try and just shift the weight to the heels just slightly, toes spread. And we're going to step the right leg goes back, straight to the back of the mat. Bring the back knee on the floor and flip the right foot. You want to keep the left knee directly over the heel, creating a 90 degrees, and just spread your toes wide. Try and soften your foot. So the balance will be in the left quad. So bring both hands on your left knee, chest open, and shoulders go back. The right hip is slightly coming forward to the front of your mat. Chest is open, gaze is straight ahead. If you're comfortable, raise both arms up overhead towards the back of the mat. Chest is open, shoulders go down, and take a few breaths here. Kara's drawing the right hip forward and trying to keep the left hip drawing back. Malcolm is lengthening through the arms. You want to tuck your tailbone slightly and draw the shoulder blades down the backside. Take one more deep breath here. Place both hands on the floor on either side of the foot. Turn the back toes, and we're going to step to plank pose. So left foot steps back. It's a plank pose or push-up position. The shoulders are directly over the wrists. Make sure you spread your fingers as wide as you can. The heels are pressing down towards the floor. The navel is lifted slightly. Stay here for another breath. Inhale. Good. As you exhale, lower both knees onto the floor. The elbows are close to the body, and lower the chest and chin towards the ground. If this is too much, you can straighten your legs and just lay flat on the floor. Relax your shoulders, tops of the feet are down. Elbows are close to the body, coming into cobra pose. So your hands are even with your chest, elbows close, and just lift the heart up a little bit and draw your shoulder blades down the backside. And stay here and breathe 3 times. So drawing the elbows in to the body, shoulder blades coming down, both feet pressing into the floor. Take one more inhale breath here, and we're going to push back to child's pose. Press, sit back to the heels. Lengthen the arms to the top of the mat. You can separate your knees slightly if that's comfortable for your back to do. Fingers are spread. You can lower your forehead towards the floor from here. If it's too much to do to lower the forehead, you can place a block, if you have a block, underneath the forehead. And then relax your shoulders and stay here for a few breaths. Again, we're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. See if you can soften your shoulders, relax your lower back. Shoulders relaxed, lower back relaxed. Take one more inhale breath, and then come back to all fours position again. So your shoulders are directly over the wrists. The hips are over the knees. Turn the toes. I'm going to press the down dog position. So press directly into the palms with your fingers spread. Toes are turned. Lift the hips into the air up. And your gaze is going to be on the feet. So you're looking at your toes, pressing directly into the floor. So Malcolm has both hands open, shoulder width apart. Relaxing the shoulders. Pressing the thighs towards the wall behind you or the area behind you. And you're working the heels down towards the floor. They don't have to touch the ground. It's just the direction of the feet. Shoulders relaxed, lower back relaxed. The thighs are pressing back and the heels come down towards the ground. Okay, so inhaling through the nose, take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat and bring the left knee on the floor. Back knee down. I'm going to flip the back foot. Again, try and align the right knee directly over the heel, spreading the toes. The balance is in the right thigh. I'm going to bring both hands onto the knee and come up. And try and relax here. Relax your shoulders. If you can, keep the right hip drawing back and the left hip coming forward. Chest open, both hands together, easily, nice, easy. Both arms go up overhead. And just lift your gaze to the ceiling. Drop your shoulder blades down. Right toes spread. And take a couple of breaths here. So nothing is being strained. You're not straining in any of these poses. It's more about the breathing and letting the body relax. So Malcolm's going to drop the shoulders a little bit. Kara, same thing. Breathing through the nose into the chest. Good. Take one more time. Inhale. And exhale both hands onto the floor and step back to plank pose or push up once again. So in plank pose, the shoulders are directly over the wrists. The heels are pressing towards the back of your mat. The navel is lifted slightly. So we're going to try and go straight down this time. If this is too much, you can drop your knees, chest, and chin. Or if you can, elbows are close. On your exhale, lower down towards the floor. All the way down. Flip your feet again, tops of your feet. Keep your hands even with your chest, and the elbows are close to the body in. You're going to press into cobra. Up. Lift the chest slightly. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, elbows hugging. The tops of the feet press into the ground, and try and stay here and breathe 2 times. Try and breathe in a relaxed type of a way. If you're straining when you're breathing, try and soften a little bit. So inhale one more time. Good, guys, good. Press back to child's pose again. So you're going to sit back to the heels. You can separate your knees slightly. The arms reach to the front of your mat. If you need your block, you can grab your block. Come back to your breathing. Take 2 or 3 breaths. Child's pose is a relaxing type of pose. So you just want to follow the breathing, basically. Okay? So we'll come up to all fours position again. Shoulders directly over the wrists, fingers to spread, hips over the knees. We're going back to down dog position. So you want to turn the toes, press directly into the palms, and then lift the hips into the air and press the heels down towards the ground. So you're trying to create, when you're doing the down dog, you're trying to create length in the spine. So as you can see, Kara's trying to relax the shoulders, maybe little bends in the elbows. The heels press towards the floor, and the thighs press towards either the wall or the room behind you. Okay. So from here, let's just walk up to the front of the mat. So you're going to walk both feet. Then you come into a ragdoll position, or uttanasana. You just drop your head and chest, bend the knees slightly, relax the shoulders, and take a few breaths here. So you're just hanging here, trying to catch your breath. Just find the breath here. Toes are spread. You can lean back into the heels just a little bit, rock the weight back. Good. Take one more breath, and we'll come all the way, stand back up again. Raise both hands up, look up to the ceiling, and bring both hands in the center of your chest. Good. So top of the mat again, if you would. Both feet are parallel to each other, hands in prayer. You want to lift from the heart, so try and lift through the chest, relax your shoulders. The navel draws in slightly, and we're grounding down. We're pressing into the earth. Okay, take a nice deep breath. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, just let it go. Just relax your body. Good. Inhale again. Both arms go up. If you can gaze to the ceiling, if that's comfortable, just a slight gaze to the ceiling, opening the chest. Take one more breath here. and then fold forward again. You can bend your knees. If you have any lower back pain or trouble, just bend your knees and hang here back to ragdoll position. Take 2 breaths. Lean back into the heels slightly, shoulders relaxed. Good. So we're going to try and jump into a plank pose. You can either walk back if you're comfortable, or we'll try and jump. So to jump back, just gaze forward to the floor, maybe a foot or so. You're going to bend both knees, and you can jump, or you'll walk back to plank pose. You jump back. Good. You can lower your knees, chest and chin, or go straight down. So you can bring your knees, chest and chin, or lower. Lift the chest up a little bit. Relax your shoulders, and the elbows are tight to the body. Fingers are spread. Deep breath. If you can, press straight to down dog. You can push off the hands, turn your toes, and lift the hips. If that's too difficult to do, you come to all fours position first, and then you can lift the hips from here. So we'll take 3 breaths in down dog, pressing the heels towards the floor. The eyes are gazing at your toes. It keeps the neck relaxed. If you have any pressure in the elbows, you can always slightly bend your elbows a little bit. Right. So from here, on your inhale breath, lift the right leg in the air towards the ceiling. You want to flex the right foot, look at your left toes, take a nice deep breath. Step to warrior 1 position. So big step forward, right foot between your hands. If you aren't able to make the right foot, if you can only go halfway, take the right hand behind your heel. You can manually just step the right foot forward if that helps. The left heel spins onto the ground. See if you can look back at your left heel and make a straight line. So you want to line the right heel up directly with your left heel from here for the balance. Right leg is strong. You're going to come up to warrior 1 position. So it's called warrior 1 pose. Front knee is bending. You're going to raise both arms up into the air from here. Okay. So as your arms are extending towards the ceiling, you want to keep the back leg as straight as possible. So Kara's going to press the outside of the left foot down. Draw the navel into the spine. Lengthen through the arms. Relax the shoulder blades. Good. Let's take 1 more inhale breath. So big inhale breath here. And then as you exhale, both hands go onto the floor and step back to plank pose. Straight back. Again, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin, or go straight down, elbows close. You can drop knees, chest, and chin, or straight. Do a cobra or maybe an up dog. An up dog would be a little bit higher if you can, if your back is okay. Elbows are close to the body. Fingers are spread. Inhale here. And then all fours or turn, press into down dog position from here. And just come back to your breathing. A down dog is a softening type of a pose. So you want to come back to your breath and try and relax the body. Again, the heels don't have to come to the floor. It's just the direction that you're pressing the heels back. And the thighs move towards the wall or the area behind you. On the inhale breath, raise your left leg in the air towards the sky or towards your ceiling. Flex the back foot so the toes are facing the mat. On your next exhale breath, big step, left foot forward between your hands. The right heel goes onto the ground from here. Again, if you can't make that big step forward, if that's too hard to step up and you can only come halfway, just take your left hand behind your left heel and move the foot forward. The back heel spins onto the ground. You're going to come up to your knee if you'd like to, or just raise all the way up to warrior 1 pose. So this is warrior 1. Both arms are lengthening towards the ceiling. If you can align the front heel with the back heel, that would be great for balance. Both arms reaching to the ceiling. Fingers are spread. Strong left leg. Kara's going to reach through towards the ceiling or the earth. Drop your shoulder blades. Tailbone tucked slightly. Inhale 1 more time. Take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, both hands go towards the mat. And just step back to plank pose from here, straight back. So you can lower down to the floor, elbows close to the body, or drop the knees, the chest and then the chin. Come up a little bit, lift the chest, drop your shoulder blades. If your lower back is tight, do a cobra pose. If you can come up higher for an up dog, if your back is okay, keep dropping the shoulders. And the tops of the feet push down into the earth. A nice deep breath here, and easily just press back to down dog position. Lift the hips back up from here. If you have any hyperextension in your elbows, like Kara has a slightly hyperextension, you just bend the elbows softly, relax the shoulders, try and keep the spine as long as possible. The navel lifted. Take 1 more deep breath. Now you can either jump or walk forward to the front of your mat. So we'll try a jump pose from here. You're going to gaze forward to the top of the mat. Bend your elbows a little bit. Bend the knees. Look forward and see if you can press into your palms and hop up to the front of the mat. Lower back down, ragdoll position, or Uttanasana, forward bend. Relax your shoulders. Spread the toes here. And try and find your breathing again. At this point is when you want to find the breath. Rock back into the heels slightly. And then come all the way, stand up from here. Look up to the ceiling, bring the hands together. And then both hands in the center of the chest. Okay. Step back to the top of the mat, if you would. Both feet are hips distance apart. So you want to stand tall here, lifting the heart, drawing your shoulders back and spreading the toes. A nice inhale breath from here. And exhale through the nose and release. With both arms. Inhale, back up to the ceiling. Open the heart. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades together just a little bit. Lengthen through the rib cage. And then as you exhale, fold forward all the way down. Bend the knees if you need to. If you're a little more flexible, maybe you can straighten the legs here. You can take your hands and grab behind your heels if you can, if that's comfortable. You don't have to touch the floor. You can place your hands on your shins, but relax the neck. Rock back into the heels. Trying to keep the sacrum open. Take one more breath. But place both hands on the floor on the outsides of your feet. And you can step back or jump back to plank pose. It's up to you. So you can jump. We'll try and jump back. Good. You can lower the knees, chest, and chin, or straight down. Do either a cobra or an up dog. Relax your shoulders. Elbows are close to the body. Fingers are spread. And then press back to down dog. Lift the hips into the air all the way up. Good. On the inhale breath, you're going to lift both heels in the air as high as you can. So lift both heels, come up, guys. And then exhale, both heels go down towards the floor. As your hamstrings start to open, the heels will slowly get lower to the ground. So one more time. Inhale, both heels come up. And then take your exhale, lower both heels down to the ground. Good. And then relax your shoulders. Okay. On your inhale breath, your next inhale, when you're comfortable, lift the right leg in the air again, all the way up. Going to flex the right foot. Good. And then a big step, right foot forward to the top of the mat. Warrior one, back heel onto the floor, and then raise both arms and come up to warrior one position. Warrior one's a strong pose, arms reaching to the ceiling. Good. Try and keep your face soft. Relax your face. Shoulder blades down the back side. Good. Right toes are spread. So from warrior one, we'll go to warrior two pose. From here, you're going to open to your left, arms open wide. The back foot will turn out, so it's parallel. So if you gaze to your left foot, if you look to the back of the mat, you can see how the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. We're trying to keep the left hip open, navel in, and your eye gaze, where you're looking, your dristi, over the front arm. So you're gazing down the forearm, over your pinky or your fourth finger. Relax the shoulders, strong right leg, the navel draws in. Inhale one more time. To flip the right palm, peaceful warrior. Front knee bends, right hand goes up, and the left just draws down. You can release the left arm down the back. You can grab your back leg if you want to. Gazing up to the top hand. Try and keep coming through the front knee, bend the front knee. Great. Take one more breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, both hands go onto the floor, and then step back to plank pose position from here, straight back. So create length in the plank pose. The heels are pressing towards the floor, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, go down, straight down, or knees, chest, and chin. Flip your feet. You can do a cobra or up dog, chest up, shoulders drawing back. Relax your lower back here. Flip the feet, tops of the feet here, push into the palms, and go back to down dog position. Down dog, again, is a resting type of a pose. It's a hard pose, but it's a resting type of pose. Gazing at your toes. You want to find your breathing here as you're pressing the heels down towards the ground. Okay, so we're going to lift both heels again. So inhale, both heels in the air, all the way up, tippy toes. And then exhale, both heels go down to the ground. Good, soften your rib cage. Once more, inhale, both heels up, tippy toes. And exhale, both heels go down to the ground from here. Great, fingers are spread. On your next inhale breath, you're going to lift the left leg in the air as high as you can. Left leg comes up without losing your balance. And then as you exhale, left foot forward between your hands. The right heel goes onto the ground. We're going to come up to warrior one position. So we're starting warrior one. Both arms up, reaching to the ceiling. It's a powerful pose, warrior one pose. You're going to lengthen through the arms, but don't lift the shoulders towards the ears. Just drop your shoulder blades down. Navel draws into the body. Good. And just turn this foot in just a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Deep breath. And open to warrior two pose from here. Open to your right side. Good. You don't want the front knee, the left knee is on this side. You don't want the knee to block the big toe. So if you look down to your front toe, if you can move your left knee just so you can see the big toe, you're in good balance spot. Shoulders relaxed, and you're gazing down the forearm over the fourth finger or maybe the pinky. Great. Flip the left palm, called Peaceful Warrior. Left goes up, right goes down. You're still bending the front knee towards the front of your mat. Your shoulder blades go down the back side. Make sure you breathe here. This way the body can relax. Okay. So once more, inhale, breath. Great. Exhale, both hands onto the floor. Step back to plank pose from here, straight back. Again, knees, chest, and chin, or straight down. Flip the feet, come up, lift the heart. Shoulder blades together. Do a little cobra, carries in cobra. They're both in cobra here. And then press directly into the palms and go into down dog position and lift up. Great. Inhale, breath. Take a nice deep inhale. Lift the right leg in the air all the way up. And go to warrior one pose. Big step, right foot forward between the hands. Left heel goes onto the mat. Inhale, both arms up. Great. Shoulder blades going down. Great. Back leg as straight as you can. Open up to warrior two pose from here. So in warrior two pose, you want the outside of the back foot, Kara's back foot, is parallel to the back of the mat. Front knee bends. Have your right palm flip, Peaceful Warrior. Right hand goes up, left goes down. This back arm can just relax. You can grab your thigh. Good. Or you just let it hang here. Relax your shoulders. Good. We're going to move into side angle pose. So the right elbow is going to rest on top of the right knee. Take your left arm straight to the ceiling first and spread the fingers. If you can have your right knee directly over the heel, if that's possible to create that, draw the knee over the heel. If not, you can stay behind the heel a little bit. Look up to the ceiling here. Relax your shoulders. Spread the right toes. Take a nice deep breath. Take your left arm over your left ear and reach it towards the top of the mat from here. The back leg is as straight as you can. Strong legs. Navel draws in. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Take one more inhale breath here. Come back to warrior two pose. Back up. Front knee is bending. Have the right palm flip. Right hand goes up. Left goes down. Back to Peaceful Warrior. Keep the front knee coming forward. Nice deep breath. Excellent. And as you exhale, both hands go onto the floor. You step back to plank pose position from here. Either knees, chest, and chin, or straight down, elbows close. Flip your feet, so tops of the feet push down, chest lifted, shoulders back. And then go back to down dog position from here. Press directly into the floor, lift the hips. So the ears and the biceps are together. Your toes are spread and your fingers are spread. You're trying to relax your breath here. We're pressing the thighs towards the back wall behind you, or if you're outside, towards the back of the mat. Inhale, breath. Good. Relax. Excellent. One more time. Great. On your inhale, next inhale breath, lift the left leg in the air all the way up, flex the foot. And as you exhale, big step, left foot forward between the hands, back heel on the ground. Warrior one pose again. Both arms coming up overhead. So warrior one's a strong pose, lifting through the arms, rib cage lifted. You want to feel like you're in a strong position here. Navel draws in. Good. Left toes are spread. Inhale one more time. Exhale to warrior two pose. On the exhale breath, you open to warrior two. Great. Nice, Malcolm. Good. Shoulders are relaxed. Strong arms from here. Good. Knee is over the heel, toes are spread. So Peaceful Warrior, left palm, flip your front. Left hand goes up and the right goes down. In Peaceful Warrior, the front knee is still drawing forward, left toes are spread. Inhale, breath. Good. As you exhale, rest your left elbow on top of your left knee. Side angle pose. Take the right arm all the way to the ceiling, reach up. Lift the rib cage. The back leg is as straight as possible, so you're pressing the outside of the back foot down, long. Inhale again, and as you exhale, take the right arm, if you can, over the right ear and reach towards the front. Good. Left knee stays directly over the heel. Strong left leg. You're trying to create length in the right side body. Good, guys. One more inhale. Back to warrior two. Left arm draws up. Great. Relax your shoulders. Left palm flip. Peaceful warrior. Left goes up, right goes down. Spread your toes. And then exhale, both hands onto the floor. And step back, plank pose position from here. Exhale breath as you go down. Good. Inhale breath as you come to cobra or up dog. The heart is open here. Elbows close to the side. Right? And then press back into down dog position. Push up. and lift the hips. Great, deep breath. So one time, inhale, both heels in the air, all the way up, tippy toes. And then exhale, both heels go down to the ground. Great, bring both knees onto the floor to all fours position. So we'll do a floor balance from here. It's always important to spread your fingers. You don't want to practice with your fingers together because it builds pressure in your wrists. So always have your fingers as wide as you can. All right, so we're creating a box here. You're creating like a 90-degree box. Shoulders are over the wrists, fingers are spread. If you look at your knees, they're the same width as your hips. So I'm just creating basically a box. Okay? So when you're set, we're going to shift the weight to your right arm. So lean to your right. Take your left arm, reach it straight out in front of you. But at this point, lift your navel up towards the spine. So the right arm is strong, left arm reaches out, navel is lifting up towards the spine. We're going to bring the right leg back. So left arm forward, right leg goes back. Flex the back foot. Lift the chest. If this is enough for you, if this is challenging from here, you can lower the back knee back to the ground, it's fine. Or you can stay in this position. If you think you can do more, bend the back knee, take the sole of the right foot towards the ceiling and flex the foot. The last part, if you can, is a little tricky. The left hand is going to reach and see if you can grab your right foot if you can. Backhand. So Malcolm has the foot. Kara staying in the position before this. Right. Look up to the ceiling. Just gaze up to the ceiling a little bit. Relax your shoulders. And take 2 breaths here. So strong in the arm. Kara, strong in the arm. Relaxing your shoulders. Good. Drop your shoulders. Inhale one more time. Good. And then let it go. Back to all fours position. And just come back child's pose. Just give your arms a break. Drop your head and chest. Again, child's pose is a relaxing position. They want to relax here in this spot. So they're going to find the breath. Shoulders open. You're pressing your sitting bones. Like Malcolm's pressing the sitting bones down to the heels. You don't have to touch your heels. But that's the direction. You're just drawing back towards the heels from here. Okay? So just take like 2 more breaths. Inhaling through your nose. Good. Draw 1 more inhale. It's always important to follow the breathing and keep softening your body. It's very important as you're practicing yoga is to keep softening. Come back to your breath. All right, so come back up to all fours, guys, if you would. Okay, so fingers are spread, shoulders directly over the wrists. Again, look to your knees. And make sure they're the same width as your hips. So you're creating a box, basically. Okay, relax your shoulders. So we're going to shift the weight to your left arm. So just lean to your left slightly. Feel a strong left arm here. And take your right arm straight out in front of you. Now, if this is enough for you, if this is plenty for you, just stay here and follow your breathing. You relax your shoulders. Okay, if you think you can go further, right arm forward, left leg draws straight back. And flex the foot from here. Keep the navel lifted to the spine. If you want to go further, bend the left knee, flex the foot. Take your right hand, reach, grab your foot if you can. Lift the chest, relax your shoulders. If you can gaze up to the ceiling, gaze up. And you can have the foot kick into the right hand and lift to the ceiling. So Malcolm's trying to draw the foot up, using the left arm for strength. Kara's staying in the position before that. Each breathing, 1 more time. Inhale, breath. Good. Let the back foot go. Come back to all fours and sit back, child's pose again. Drop your head and chest. There's a softening position. All the poses that we're doing can be modified. So Kara did the modification on that one, and Malcolm went to the full pose. So each pose that we're doing, feel free. You can always drop your knee, or if you need to rest in between, you always take a rest, right? It's important. Okay, so inhale 1 more time. Up. And then we'll come back to all fours position again from here. So from all fours, we're going to make our way to a down dog position. So shoulders directly over the wrists, fingers are spread. Hips directly over the knees, and the knees are the same width as your hips are. Okay, turn your toes, strong arms, press directly into the mat, and it will lift the hips into the air. The floor has energy, so if you press into the floor, it'll press you back. Look directly at your toes and relax your shoulders from here. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, release, relax. Relax your body, relax your ribcage. Okay, so when you guys are ready, inhale, lift the right leg in the air, all the way up. Good, exhale, warrior 1 pose. Again, right foot steps through, back heel on the ground. Inhale, lift. So same warrior 1 as before. Front knee comes forward, arms to the ceiling. Great, open to warrior 2 pose from here. Tailbone tuck, shoulders relaxed. The navel's coming in towards the spine. Peaceful warrior, right palm flip, right hand goes up, left goes down. The front knee comes forward from here. Great. In this position here, we're going to straighten the front leg. So in this peaceful warrior, right leg straight, and see if you can back bend this just a little bit. Look up to the ceiling. If you lose your balance, lean back forward. Lean your torso and your upper body forward. But if you can, try and back bend this a little bit here. Relax your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. So we're moving into what's called Trikonasana, triangle pose. The right leg stays straight. Reach your right arm to the ceiling slightly and keep the left hip drawn back. You don't want your left hip to come forward. Keep the left hip back. Right toes facing the front of your mat. Reach your right arm up. Drop the right hand inside. Unless you're very flexible, then you can come down towards the heel. If not, keep the right hand somewhere near the kneecap. But I would say keep the right hand closer to the kneecap because you want to keep the left hip opening up towards the ceiling. Rib cage as well, opening. Left arm to the ceiling, drawing up. And spread the fingers. Good. Relaxing your shoulders. So Malcolm is lengthening through the side body, pressing the outside of the back foot down. If your shoulders are lifting towards your ears, if you have that lift there, just relax your shoulders a little bit. Okay, guys, breathe 2 more times. Again, just reaching through the arm, Kara, relaxing your shoulders. And then spread the right toes. Take 1 more deep breath. Okay, guys. Come back to Warrior 2 pose. So bend the right knee forward. Right arm raises back to Warrior 2. Gazing down the front arm. Flip the right palm, Peaceful Warrior. Right goes up, left goes down. Relax the shoulders here. But deep breath. And then both hands go onto the mat and step back into plank pose like we did before. Push-up position. Elbows hug the side bodies. Exhale, go down. You can drop your knees if you need to. Inhale, breath, come up. Open the chest. If you can come up and open your chest here, tops of the feet push into the ground. Good. Lift the eyes a little bit. Perfect. Spread the fingers. Press directly into the floor. Back to down dog. Hips up. Turn the toes. Pressing back to down dog position from here. We're really trying to create one straight line of length here. So Malcolm's pressing into the palms, opening up his traps and shoulders, pressing the heels down towards the floor. Okay. Deep breath, inhale. Good, exhale, let it go. Okay, next inhale breath, lift the left leg in the air all the way up. The foot is flexed, so your toes are facing the mat. And as you exhale, left foot forward between your hands. Back heel turns, Warrior 1 position, back heel down. You're gonna raise both arms up. Lifting from the floor on the inhale breath, raising both arms. Great. Bend the front knee. If you can gaze up to your fingers, if you feel comfortable to do so, if that gets you off of balance, then you can look straight ahead, it's fine. So inhale, and then as you exhale, Warrior 2 pose. The back foot will turn up. So now Kara's foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Tailbone tucks slightly from here. Good, great. Flip the left palm, your front hand, Peaceful Warrior. Left hand goes up, the right goes down. Don't buckle the back knee here. So always press the outside of the back foot down. Relax. Good. Straighten the front leg, left leg straight. You can do a little back bend here, just a slight back bend, breathing into the left side of the body. Again, if your shoulders are by your ears, just relax your shoulders. Look up if you can. Moving into triangle pose. Left arm reaches to the ceiling. Now keep the right hip drawn back, right rib cage open, left arm reaches forward slightly, and the palm faces the inside. Again, if you're flexible, you can come down here if that's okay. I would suggest keeping it much closer to the kneecap so we can keep the right hip open and the right rib cage rotated. Right arm goes into the ceiling, spread the fingers. He's gazing up if possible. If you lose your balance by gazing up, you can look more to the floor if you'd like to, like Kara just looked to the ground, that's great. Back leg as straight as possible. Take a deep breath here, inhale. Come back to Warrior 2 pose. Now bend the front knee forward. On that transition, keep your left knee coming forward. Great. Left palm flip, Peaceful Warrior again. Left goes up, front knee draws forward, shoulders down. Good, inhale breath. And then we're gonna cartwheel, both hands onto the floor again, and step back plank pose. Your option, you can always modify the pose. Knees, chest, and chin, or straight down, either way. Flip the feet, so try an up dog, press the tops of the, so up dog would be a little bit higher, fingers spread, chest up, and see if you can lift your eyes, just gaze a little bit, good. And then press back into down dog position from here, hips up. Great, deep breath. So we're gonna try what's called the Vashisthasana, it's a side plank pose, okay? Again, we'll modify this if you need to. So bring your heels together here and your big toes to touch. Heels together, big toes. We're gonna try and get the right shoulder directly over your right wrist. So if you move almost into a plank type of position, like a push-up, I'll have the right shoulder stacked over the wrist. Now we're moving to your right. You're going to switch to your right, try and get your left foot on top of the right foot. Now you can modify this. If this is too hard, just lower your right knee onto the ground. Right shoulder over the wrist, fingers are spread, and take your left arm into the air from here. Good. So both Malcolm and Kara both are doing the high position. You're going to lift your hips up a little bit, breathe all the way to your fingertips, navel in, take one more breath, and come back into plank pose position. Good. If you can hold that longer, the side plank, you can hold it longer if you'd like to. As you exhale, lower down from plank pose, chaturanga down, flip the feet, tops of the feet, do a cobra or up dog. Right, it depends on how your back feels. If your back is open and you can come all the way up, that's great. But if your lower back has any problems at all, you stay in a cobra pose, low, down. Fingers are spread, turn your toes and push directly into your mat and lift your hips into the air from here. Spread your toes. Right, it's called Vashisthasana. It's a side plank position. It's a tough pose. So bring your heels together and your big toes to touch. So you're going to bring the heels and big toes together. Come forward almost to like a plank pose, like we did before. Push up. Try and see if you can get your left shoulder directly over the wrist. You're going to rotate the hips towards the ceiling and stack the right foot on top of your left foot. Now, if this is too hard, you can always drop the bottom knee. So if you were here, I could drop the left knee, spin the back heel down, and right arm goes up. Right? So Malcolm just modified. They both modified the pose. That's great. Reaching all the way to the fingers, shoulders relaxed. Try and breathe here in a comfortable position, in a comfortable way if you can. Once more, inhale. Good. Come back, right hand on the floor. You're going to step back to plank pose, push up again. Exhale, breath, go down, fingers are spread. Inhale, come up, lift the chest. Open the shoulders, heart open if you can. If Kara's back feels okay, then she can come up a little bit higher from here. Good. And then press back to down dog position. Hips up, heels down, deep breath. Great. So let's just walk forward. You guys can walk up to the front of your mat. A forward bend is called Uttanasana. So they're just going to drop the head and chest. It's more of a hamstring stretch, more of a back stretch if you can do that. If you have tight back or tight hamstrings, just bend the knees slightly. Stay here and take a few breaths, guys. Spread your toes, your shoulders relaxed. Keep coming back to your breathing. It's so important to come back to your breath. It relaxes the body. It releases the body is the idea. And so once more, inhale. Okay. With the knees bent, come all the way, stand back up again. Lift. Both arms up overhead. And then both hands in the center of the chest. Good. So let's do another balance pose. A lot of yoga, this is asanas that we're doing, is balance. So we're practicing our balance. If you are very good at balancing, then you're perfecting your balance. Okay, so this is called the tree pose. So if you stand, again, with your feet hips distance apart, we're going to have the right leg, your right side will start that as the standing leg. So that'll be our balancing leg as your right. Okay, so your feet are open, hips distance, your hips are square. So if you look down to the front of your mat, your hips will be square. Take your left foot and bring it on the inside of the right shin. So you're just going to take the sole of your left foot so you're in the inside of the shin. Both hands in the center of your chest. So tree pose could be tricky, could be hard to do this. If you know you have good balance and your hips are open, you can take your left foot above the knee into the thigh if you're comfortable. If your front knee starts to come forward a little bit, then maybe just keep it down low. Hands in the prayer, good. Lifting through the chest, shoulders back. Your eyes could be on the floor. You can look maybe 6 feet in front of you on the ground or straight across the room. And when they're ready, if they like to, both hands can go up into the air, all the way up. So again, reaching towards whether the ceiling or if you're outside towards the sky. Open your arms up just shoulder width apart. Good. Spread the fingers. Try and lift through the rib cage. Drop your shoulder blades. And if you think you can lift your gaze up, it's kind of tricky. If you can, lift the eyes towards the ceiling. Nice, Malcolm, that's great. You guys are good. Breathe 2 more times. And spread the right toes. And breathing 1 more time. Inhale. Excellent. Great. Both hands back down and then lower the left foot onto the floor from here. Okay, so these guys have good balance. Both feet again, we'll try the left side. So if you look down to your feet, they're parallel to each other and then spread the toes. So left leg will be your standing leg. Take your right foot. If you're tight in the hips, or if you're just not so great at balancing yet, just keep the foot, so you have the foot below the knee. You don't want to have the foot directly on the knee, so it'd either be below or above the kneecap. Good. Chest is lifted, good, shoulders back. And if you'd like to, both hands go into the air. If you're comfortable staying here, it's fine. Otherwise, both arms reaching up. Open your arms up shoulder width apart. See if you can spread your fingers here. Maybe lift your rib cage just a little bit. Drop your shoulders. And if you're feeling daring, you can have good balance. Look up to the ceiling, lift chest, and spread the toes. Now come back to your breathing here. All right, so we're going to breathe 2 times. Good. Inhale 1 more time. Great. And lower the hands and lower the right foot back down from here. Excellent. Very nice. Okay. So you can just shake out the right leg a little bit, check out your left leg a little bit. Okay. So back to the top of the mat again, if you would. Both feet are hips distance apart. Both hands prayer. Both arms go up, overhead, spread your fingers. Just like you're sitting into a chair, you're going to bend both knees and squat. Reach through the arms. Look up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. And then fold forward from here. Drop the head and the chest all the way down. Relax your knees and shoulders. And just take a big step back, right foot, all the way back. Bring the back knee onto the ground again and flip the back foot. The left knee, your front knee, right over the heel. Toes are spread. Both hands together, raise both arms up overhead. If your back is open and you think you can back bend this, you can open the chest and start to reach your arms back. If that causes any pressure in your back, you just can go straight to the ceiling from here. Engage the glutes, right hip forward. Look up, take a nice deep breath. Bring both hands down slowly to the center of your chest. We're going to do a twist. The right elbow will go outside the left knee. So you're going to twist to your left. Right elbow, if you can, outside the knee from here. If that gets to be too much on the twist, you can just have your hands in prayer and just look over your left side. Now lean back forward so the left knee stays directly over the heel. Hands in a prayer. If you're comfortable, gaze over your left shoulder, look to the ceiling. Now you can keep the back knee down, or more of a challenge, if you can, turn the back toes, and you're going to press your back knee up into the air in a low lunge. So we're doing a twist and a low lunge. Kara will lift the back knee. Malcolm will keep the back knee down. Great. So this is a low lunge. So Kara's pressing the heel towards the ground, engaging the right leg, looking up to the ceiling. Great. Thumbs to the chest slightly. Take 1 more breath. Inhale. And then Kara, lower the back knee back down, both hands onto the floor, and then back to all fours position from here. Good. Shoulders directly over the wrists. Just take a breath here. Inhale so you can relax for a second. And then turn the toes and press back to down dog position from here. Good. Toes spread, fingers are spread. So just 1 time. Inhale, both heels in the air all the way up. And then exhale, both heels go down to the ground. Great. So big step here, right foot forward between. See if you can step all the way up to the top of the mat if possible. Lower the left knee on the ground, and we're going to go on the top of the left foot. So you're going to flip the foot. Right knee directly over the heel, right toe spread, up to the knee. It's called crescent moon pose. Chest open. Both hands together, both arms lifting towards the ceiling. So relax your chest here in this point. You don't want to strain it. I don't want to force the back bend. It's more of an opening. Even if you bend your elbows a little bit here, you can soften your chest more. If you think you can look up if you can, and then breathe right in the center of your chest 2 times. So the balance in this pose is right here in the right thigh. This is where Kara's balancing this pose. Okay, both hands down the middle of your chest, slowly in a prayer. You're going to twist to your right. Left elbow outside the knee. If you can't make the twist, if you can't get the elbow outside, just keep your thumbs close to your chest and just look over the right side. Strong right leg. So we'll do the same thing. So Kara, if you would, turn the back toes, lift the back knee up. She wants to keep the knee directly over the heel. That's it, Malcolm, good. Malcolm's still shifting forward into the right thigh. Slow breathe 2 times. Gaze up if you can, look up. Slow breathe, 1 more. Great, both hands onto the floor from here. Come back to all fours position again. Shoulders directly over the wrists. Turn the toes and lift back to down dog position from here. Hips up, toes spread, fingers are spread. Inhale, and then back to child's pose again. Knees down, tops of the feet. Drop your head and chest. Take a couple of breaths. Good. Again, resting pose. Find your breathing. At this point, you have a break. So come back to your breath. Just find your breathing. Relax your shoulders. Good. Once more. Okay, so we're going to do a seated position, a seated stretch. So Malcolm, Kara, if you guys would come up and just turn over and sit. And I'm going to use a blanket for this. Since Malcolm's a little tighter, he's going to sit on the blanket so he can raise the hips. Okay? So I'm going to fold the blanket underneath, and Malcolm's just going to sit on the edge. He's going to sit on the top edge just so he can raise the hips up a little bit. Okay, this is called Baddha Konasana just means the feet together. It's more of a hip opener pose that we'll do. Okay? So feet together. You can take your hands and grab your feet. Move your heels as close to your body as you can, but without throwing off your balance. You don't need to move too much that you feel too much of a stretch inside. More comfortable, but just don't have the feet too far out. Maybe halfway in and relaxed here in the hips. Good. You can interlace your fingers. If you can, grab underneath both feet. If that's too hard to do, you just hang on to the sides of the feet or even the tops of the feet is fine. Let your knees fall out to the sides just a little bit. This is a gentle stretch. You can lift up on the feet and we're trying to straighten the spine. So just raise your chest a little bit. The knees opening out to the sides. We're lifting from the heart. So if you can, directly from the heart, we'll straighten the spine. But lift your chin, just gaze up slightly, and stay here for a couple of breaths. If you feel like your shoulders are rounding, maybe just lean back a little bit, get some pressure off. Otherwise, chest up, look up, knees open, take a nice deep breath. You're going to fold forward from here. If you can, if your lower back is okay, just drop your head, drop the chest, and come down a little bit. If that feels comfortable for you, you can come down further. If you have a tight back here, maybe just a little bit and stay. You don't want to overstretch any body part, especially the back. So just nice and easily, you can drop the head, relax your shoulders, and stay here for a couple of breaths. Good. This is a non-strenuous pose. So kind of just opening the knees slightly, shoulders following the breathing. Malcolm's a little tighter. He's using the blanket. So if you know you have tight hips, you want to elevate your hips just a little bit off the floor. It helps them to come forward. Relaxing your shoulders. Good. Breathe 2 more times. The breath is through the nose. Inhale. Exhale through your nose. They're both great. Inhale 1 more time. And then exhale, let it go. Excellent. So come up slow. When you lift the head and chest back up, you just want to lift up a little bit. Gaze to the ceiling 1 more time. Take a breath. Good. And then let your hands go and release the feet. Okay, we'll do a stretch from the floor, both legs straight out in front of you. So it's called Paschimottanasana, just means a forward bend you're doing. Okay, so you want to get the sitting bones to move back a little bit because you're probably on the fronts of your sitting bones here. So if you move your left leg back and then move the right foot back, now you're on the top edges of the sitting bones. You flex the feet and spread the toes. Okay, good. Bring your fingertips on the ground and just lift your chest up just a little bit. Again, if you have a tight back or Malcolm's a little tighter in the hips, he uses the blanket. You'd use the blanket. Don't strain. I don't want to force the chest up. It's more relaxed, right? Toe spread. See if you can just lift up, look to the ceiling, lift your chest. If this is enough for you to stay here, if you're feeling a deep stretch, just stay here and breathe. Or if you can go further, if you can, raise both arms up overhead, look up, spread your fingers. And now we'll move into forward bend, Paschimottanasana. Both hands come forward. And wherever your hands lay is fine. Shins, knees, thighs. If you're flexible and you can grab your toes, that's great. But don't have your shoulders up by your ears though. If I'm trying to reach my toes and that lifts my shoulders, it's too far. Get in a position that you feel that your shoulders can relax. We're trying to keep your spine as straight as possible. You just don't want to round. So when we lengthen, you lengthen up. You come forward with a flat back as best you can. And then from there, you can drop the head and chest. And you want to breathe into your lower back from here. This stretches your hamstrings and it stretches the lower back. A little bit of the shoulders, but mostly the main parts, the primary, would be lower back and the hamstrings. So Kara's neck is relaxed. Malcolm's good. Perfect. So they're both grabbing towards their ankles, which is great because it lets them relax, like the shoulder girdle and more the torso. So just take a few breaths here. If you'd like to stay a little longer in the pose, you can stay a little bit longer. So maybe take like 3 more breaths from here. So with Malcolm with his hips elevated, with the blanket that he's sitting on, it gives him a little bit easier stretch. It works as more flexibility for him. He's able to get further by raising the hips up. Good. Inhale 1 more time, deep breath. And then we're going to come back up. Both arms go up. Now lift the chest 1 more time. Look up, take a breath, and bring both hands down to the ground. Great. So we're going to move into our relaxing position. The last pose, it's more of just to let the body just kind of relax and cool down. At the end of every class, it's called Shavasana. It's a relaxing pose. Okay. So if you guys would scoot forward to the front of your mat, up, and you're going to lay flat on the back. So you guys can lay straight down on your back. You can move the blanket out to the side. Okay. And you want the arms to be alongside the body with the palms up. Okay. So if you have your feet open slightly. You can turn the feet out to the sides. So Kara's gonna let her feet open to the sides. The feet are open, your legs are open, almost mat width apart, maybe in a few inches on each side. It's great. You wanna make sure that your shoulders are relaxed. So if you're a person who has your shoulders by your ears all the time, see if you can create some length here. You're building awareness in your body. You're trying to like almost scan to see if that's something that you do. Do you always lift your shoulders? This is a good time to kind of bring awareness so you can start to process of relaxing there. So relax your shoulders, palms up, spread your toes. You want to make sure that you're comfortable at the end, okay? So regardless of anything else, you want to make sure you're laying in a comfortable position. You close your eyes here, just close your eyes, good. And you're going to slow breathe in this position. So they're going to basically follow the breathing. And you don't want to think so much in this position. You want to let the mind just relax, basically. A Shavasana could be for a minute or two, or sometimes some classes will have much longer than that. Okay, so you just want to slow breathe, try not to think, and internally your body is trying to heal itself. Good. Keep your fingers relaxed, and your toes relaxed. And follow your breathing, right? So as we're doing this, just follow the breath. And you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like to, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Thank you for taking Power One yoga class. Namaste.